Uh, this picture here, this is me living the street that I live on. Go back real quick. And so Granite Hills High School somewhere back here. This is the east side of Porterville. And that was yesterday morning. I took that on the way to work.
It's a nice shot.
And so yeah, I took several of them. Just thought it was real pretty. That's a color photo. You just can't tell. It just looks great. It's good. Reminds me of the sound California Dreamin'. Anybody know how that song starts?
Oh,
Beach
yeah,
Boys?
yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so anyways, please drive safe. Last Thursday was the worst foggy day I've ever remembered driving anywhere. In Porterville, it was nice and sunny. I dropped off some stuff at the Visalia, Porterville office. Got about 3 minutes outside of Porterville before I even hit Poplar, and I couldn't see anything. And I drove 39 miles an hour behind a line of cars with hazard lights on, and it took me like 58 minutes to get here. On usually about a 45-minute drive. So please be careful out there. Today I ran into an accident that wasn't bad. People weren't hurt, but somebody pulled out in one of those uncontrolled stops, just across one of the major roads. And it wasn't bad, but it slowed traffic down. So please just be careful out there. All right, please stand for the flag salute. Are you standing?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Salute, pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes. You said go Rams? Did you guys see the email where Mitch is selling tickets, 2 tickets to next Sunday's game? Yeah.
Scary?
Well, that's what I'm saying. A true fan would want to go. So have you bought the tickets?
You got buying for me?
No, hell no. You're not a fan. A true fan would hockey his car to go to that game. It's been forever since I've been back there. That being said, Mike, let's get Mike Allen up.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So anybody feeling a little down today, the fog and their vitamin D levels are sitting down at rock bottom and it's like, where are we? If I wanted to be treated like this, I'd move to Seattle full time, right? Be depressed and listen to grunge music. So.
It's D, not E.
What's that?
It's vitamin D, not E.
Yeah, no, I said D. Yeah,
Oh, D.
yeah. D levels are low. Yeah, I take the 5,000 IU of D3 every day, and I'm still feeling a little down. But we're going to pull out of it. We're going to pull the nose out of the fog of the plane and be above the cloud line and be in the sun here pretty quick, because I think that's where the market's heading, which is great news. And so let's talk a little bit about some things. This top agent, Karen, she's got all these certifications, and I'm wiped out. I spent all day going through the MLS reporting violations to the board. Oh my gosh. Anybody been a victim of Karen at the MLS? I was many years ago. I had a description in the MLS that wasn't directions to the property where you had to say turn right, then east, and turn left, north, and but I didn't put the east or north. I just said turn left or right. And the MLS had just changed it. And this was still back. I mean, it wasn't that long ago. They had GPS. They had maps they had iPhones and maps, and I got a violation for that. I think I had to pay like $200.
Oh my God.
And the first question to the person down at the MLS when they called me is, I was like, okay, I understand. I won't make that mistake again, but don't they have a damn GPS? I mean, or Thomas Guide or something? I mean, do they really rely on that description to get to the property? But that was my first experience with a Karen there. But there are people that don't have anything better to do but scour the MLS every day and turn you guys in for bad behavior. Like, why don't you go out and sell a house, right? So,
you reminded me that we had to put in the Thomas Guide coordinates into the MLS.
Yeah, that too, right? I remember that. That was before they just had the description and they auto mapped it and all that. But
Was that really her up there?
That was a picture of you.
that was her. Does that look like a Karen?
Yeah, definitely.
And they have all those certifications, yet they do one deal a year. And
We'll take care of you, boss. We'll take care of that.
all right, so when someone tells me that they're too busy, they're really saying that it's either not a priority to them or they are inefficient at managing their time. So that's one of my quotes there. But think about that. I'm so busy. I'm busy. And I do it too. I mean, we're all guilty. How's it going? I'm busy. It's like, okay, so we have to be careful with that, because if we have a client or prospective client hearing us say that, first thing that goes into their head is, well, I guess you're too busy to help me achieve the dream of selling or buying a home. But are you really busy though? Or are you just not managing your schedule and prioritization there? So be careful with what you manifest verbally, because that's really what's going to end up happening. You'll make it come true. But let's dig in a little more about some things we can do to really kick the year off strong. So let's talk about 5 quantum principles for action in 2026. And I hope you guys appreciate the level of these original graphics that I created. I spent hours and hours creating for you guys. And no, ChatGPT did a really good job on the graphics on this one. So
Is that a real city, I wonder?
yeah, I don't know, but you'll notice what I did on my prompting is I wanted to create something inspirational and visionary, but also incorporate the Century 21 gold and black into the color scheme. And I think it did a pretty good job when you see it. There's the first one. There's me standing on top of the hill looking at the city there. Hopefully I don't fall off the cliff there. But number one is think beyond what most consider attainable. So a lot of these things I'm talking about stems from my book, The Quantum Real Estate Agent. Hopefully most of you guys have read it, listened to it, or at least looked at the front cover. But this is one of my favorite quotes I outline in the book. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today. That's FDR, one of my favorite quotes by FDR. It wasn't my favorite president. I thought he did some good stuff, thought some stuff was a little squirrely, but we won't get into politics. But I do love that quote because it really starts with our doubts and our self-doubts. And do we have limiting beliefs? Do we have self-imposed beliefs where we basically have created our own ceiling there of what we could achieve? And if you don't set ambitious, big, hairy, audacious quantum goals, guess what? Somebody else might do it for you because they're going to set and achieve their goals. And yeah, at the end of the day, you want to make sure you're setting your own goals and you're on your own trajectory ultimately. And when we question why we're doing all of this thing, particularly when our business is slow, what was the reason you got into real estate to begin with? What was your big why? What was your purpose? What was your mission of getting into this profession? And it had to be compelling enough to go through all the state exam and studying and take the state exam 7 times and finally pass and all that, right? And then maybe risk leaving a regular corporate or day job career somewhere. How many of you left a career to get into real estate? You just walked away from a career to get into real estate. So a few of you have, right? Right. So, and it's a big risk. I did. I mean, it was insane when I left. Yeah, and I talk about it in the introduction of my book. But I quit almost cold turkey a 12-year corporate job that I did very well in. I mean, I had risen up the ranks. I was the director of national accounts for a $2 billion conglomerate, and was flying all over the country. Every week, 70% of the time, I was on a plane, building something, millions a year, and thought I was living the dream. And until I realized I was basically letting other people set my quantum goals, right? They weren't mine. They were our corporate, my CEOs and our shareholders' goals ultimately. And I worked myself to the bone for very little meritocracy coming back to me. And then I had the opportunity after my dad passed to come back and get into real estate and start from scratch. Literally scratch. No pay, not $1 pay, no money in the bank, nothing. Six agent office. Can you imagine? I mean, if I had all of you guys in this room in that starting office, man, it would have been much easier getting going. But I had only 6 of you, and trust me, the 6 weren't all top producers. I think a couple of them did nothing, but a little scary stuff. But my big why was very compelling at that point, and I realized it's just I needed to do this to help my family. I needed to do this to change this trajectory I was on, and really it became about just finding a little bit later life passion for real estate and wanting to help people achieve success through all things real estate, which was my big why. Like I found that passion pretty quick that it's in my blood. I reeled against being in it, but finally I got into it. It became my passion to take the knowledge I gained and help others succeed in all things, whether it's buying, selling, investing, and even beyond helping people just succeed based on the hardships and things I went through to succeed. And a lot of that was getting over my imposter syndrome, right? Feeling that, was I even worthy to do this? I was successful in this corporate gig in a certain industry. Can I translate that into a completely new industry? And I was scared to death. I didn't think I could. And I failed miserably the first couple of years in a lot of ways. Started with 6 agents. I think 2 left right away when they realized I was going to be a taskmaster because I was treating them like W-2 employees, like my sales force that I had in my corporate job. And I realized quickly, you can't treat people like that. These are independent business owners that manage their own business and time, and they don't want to be told what to do every hour of the day, right? So I learned quick, but at first I felt like I couldn't do it, but I knew I had to get over that and realize I could. And then it just becomes about setting our SMART goals. Anybody know what a SMART goal is? What the acronym stands for?
Smart, measurable, attainable, realistic, and trackable, or something like that.
Yeah. Yes. So smart, measurable, attainable, relevant or realistic, but relevant, and then time bound or tested. Basically something set to a time period, right? And when we set our goals under that framework, then they become effective rather than some lofty goal. Well, I'm going to make $100,000 this year in real estate. Okay, well, what is that? I mean, that's the end result of what you're trying to accomplish, but really, what's the goal that's going to get you there? What's the specific goal that you can put a measurement on and that you feel is attainable and relevant to what you're trying to accomplish? And then when you're going to do it, and really, at the end of the day, a perfect example of a SMART goal is, well, I'm going to talk to at least 10 people per day, 5 days a week about buying or selling real estate, whatever that looks like. On the phone, whether it's, out in person somewhere or, at an open house, whatever. And I know if I talk to 10 people a day, 5 days a week, based on the algorithm and numbers, I can get enough leads to close 2 to 3 deals a month, which will achieve my goal. So that's just a kind of a loose example, but that's the type of SMART goals we need to set. Always be learning and growing. So an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And I love that by Benjamin Franklin. They say the interest is the 7th or the 8th one of the world, right? I think that was his quote as well, I believe. But the reality is, if you're going to make an investment, no better investment in yourself. Anybody hear about Tony Robbins, this guy? He's had a little bit of success, right? Some of you have gone to some of his events. He's like 8 feet tall and he has big white teeth and he has a super deep, gravelly voice now because he's done 1 million presentations and has half a voice left, if that. But the guy, I followed him and I started following him in his programs back in 2010. And that's when my rocket took off. I really, really recommend him. But
he was just on TV. I don't know if anyone saw it.
Yeah, he's always on TV. He's always right in the middle of things.
Asking all kinds of questions.
Yeah, he's on an interview. Yeah, he is. And what the reason I'm bringing him up in the context of this is he's self-educated. He didn't go to college. He doesn't have an advanced degree. He's got probably some honorary degrees now. But what he did is he realized he wanted to learn and he wanted to do what his mentors, like Jim Rohn, did. And he just read and just learned and just became a sponge. And he knew that if he invested in himself, which is what Jim Rohn told him to do, that would be the highest return. And that's exactly what happened. And so having that fixed mindset that I don't need to learn one more thing, you're never going to grow. In fact, you're going to shrink. So Lou Holtz said, in this world, either you're growing or you're dying. So get in motion and grow, right? And grow.
I like Lou Holtz. He's those of you who don't know who he is, look him up. He's a pretty amazing story.
Yeah. And he says last, if you're not constantly growing, you're dying. So you can't have it both ways. I mean, bottom line is, you've got to go one way or the other. There's nothing called status quo. How many of you have been in the business over 20 years? Some of you are like, well, I don't want to reveal my age, right? So I'm celebrating my 20th year this year. So what's constant about real estate?
Change.
There's no status quo, right? It goes like this, and The people that aren't willing to invest in themselves do this often with the market. They ride it up and down like a roller coaster. I don't know about you. I don't like riding roller coasters anymore. I really don't. I like to have something that's just constantly going up. But the reality is you've got to keep investing yourself. You have to remain relevant and provide top-notch value to the clients. And they're going to sniff that out because guess what? They've got ChatGPT. They're going to look at what you should be doing and how things should work. They're going to chat it and figure out whether you're dropping balls or not, or try to figure your job out for you. In some cases, our clients are Karens, right? I mean, we've dealt with a couple recently down in Bakersfield, mother-daughter. It's been a nightmare that, they've chatted themselves, I mean, they want to be attorneys apparently, but I don't, it's pretty interesting. But they're always trying to think they know more than you, and you got to be prepared that, no, I know what I'm doing. I mean, we've been in business for, as a company going on our 50th year, that we'll be actually celebrating this year, right? Yeah, because we were founded in 1976. So we're going to be doing a big event this year coming up here, probably a little bit later in the spring. We're not going to do it right away. We got to make some money first, right? We're going to be able to pay for that.
Pay for the event.
Right. All right. So be prepared and manage the clock. So victorious warriors win first and then go to war, while defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. Sun Tzu, The Art of War. So we've got to be prepared, meticulous preparation about anything that's important, whether it's a listing appointment, a buyer consultation, making a call where you're negotiating something. We always need to be prepared. If we fail to prepare, we must prepare to fail. We've heard that many times. Many people wing it, and salespeople are notorious for winging it when they go into either a listing presentation or some kind of sales meeting. And that's not, specific to real estate. I mean, I dealt with it in my corporate job. I had certain salespeople, we'd go in and visit a big client. I'd go in with them that, some of my people, you could tell they didn't know the product they were presenting. They hadn't prepared. And I'm like going, oh my God, this is a multi-million-dollar account and you didn't even bother to research the product we're like here showing them today. And it's like, but at the end of the day, those that prepare the most win. And, it's just basically, what are you personally doing to make sure you prepare to win? What is your daily routine or personal experience? Like, what does that look like? And if you're being truthful to yourself, if you looked at your own schedule, would you say this is a schedule that's preparing me to win and gain business? Or would you say this is a schedule just designed to keep me busy and make it feel like I'm doing something? Or would you say I have no schedule, which is even scarier, right? I just show up in free form it every day. Hopefully something exciting happens. We got to use our schedules as our first line of defense, right? And meaning that I've mapped out how this day looks, and by and large, this is how my day is going to go. And I'm not going to let others personally or even professionally at times infiltrate what I have planned today, right? And some of you do that very, very well. Some of you do that very well. And generally, those are people that are doing high volume business, because if you just answer that phone call whenever it rang, responded to the got a minutes, made yourself instantly available anytime somebody wanted time with you, or somebody wanted to see that house with, in the next hour, you would be a train wreck. I mean, trust me, you couldn't succeed. So our schedule is our first line of defense. And I've often said, I mean, if you have a good CPA or doctor, are you able to call up and just get right in? My CPA takes 2 weeks to get into. I mean, Mike knows he has the same CPA because he's the best. Yeah, and Art has the same CPA, I believe, Delmer Hosian, right? You can't get right into there, right, Penny? I mean, but he saved me hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last 20 years. So it's like, I'm good with that. People will respect people of value. Like, if you can't do something within the next hour, but hey, I got some time today at 4, they'll respect that. And if they don't, they're Karens and you don't want to work with them anyway, because they're always going to want you to drop what you're doing and be available. And they're also the people that are calling, texting at 11, 12 o'clock at night. Hey, I just found these 7 homes on Zillow. I want you to show me tomorrow morning. Can you do it at 8 a.m.? I've gotten those. I've gotten those on Saturday, wanting to see property starting at 8 a.m. on Sunday, literally. And I'm like, that was my own aunt and uncle. I was like, all right, you guys, what world do you live in here? I mean, you're sitting there at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night surfing Zillow, and then they want to see 7 properties and have it all scheduled out by 8 a.m. the next morning. So my schedule doesn't work like that. Sorry. So talk about the football. So we're in the playoffs. Exciting, man. These have been the best playoffs this year, haven't they? Like I think every game except one's been like down to the wire. There's been multiple overtimes. The Rams game was unbelievable. That was a nail biter. And you know, I always root for the California teams. I'm not a Rams fan entirely, but when it's down to California teams, I will. So I was rooting for the Rams, and you know, it turned out well for them. So, but what did they do well? They managed the clock. They knew what they needed to do with that clock. And if we're managing our own clock and our own business effectively and doing things at the right time and protecting the play and making sure that we control the ball, that we're not on defense all the time, but we're on offense with a chance to score most of the clock, we're going to win the game. Right? All right, so almost done. Anybody consider themselves a social butterfly? A couple of you I'm looking at, or I think are social butterflies. I don't know, maybe recovering social butterflies. So, but this is in a good sense, right? And really, I think your goal this year, everybody in this room's goal this year should be to get in front of as many people as possible and talk about real estate. And you know, to use the Jared James reference again, it's get in the way of the transaction. You know, there's transactions flying out there back and forth, and somebody's handling them. How about you? How about you go jump in the middle and handle it, right? You intercept that ball and take off with it. But it's really about getting in front of people. So what is your plan about, you know, how you're going to get in front of as many people as possible to talk about buying or selling real estate this year? Do you have a calling plan, whether it's, you know, making calls, calling your SOI, or cold calling, which I know that's hard for people, but are you out networking somehow? Are you visible? Are you in groups? Are you standing in a long line at a grocery store, fully branded and decked out in C21 bling? And you know, are you starting those conversations about real estate? Are you talking to all the people you do business with about buying or selling because you give them business? But you just mentioned our CPAs, our doctors, maybe it's your hairdresser, your nail person, you know, whoever you're dealing with on a weekly or monthly basis, on a recurring basis, your insurance agents that you're referring business to, you should expect something back out of that, right? Why not? Do you guys, does anybody in this room have people they give business to refer business back to them occasionally? I would hope so, right? And I like using the running for office analogy, running for office. And so picture yourself as somebody running for some kind of office position, like city council, county supervisors, you know, state, you know, assembly or senate, federal, whatever that looks like. And make sure that, look, the only way people are going to get to know me because I'm not an incumbent is I've got to get my message out there and somehow be as visible as possible to the population in my market because I want the votes. What is your game plan? What is your campaign plan for getting out there in front of those people and being shameless about it for that matter? And that's how you should conduct your business. That's how you should be present. People should almost get tired of seeing your name out there in different platforms, starting with social media, but not only that, but just being out there in general in the community and being a person that people think about when it comes time to buy or sell. And then obviously, you know, building your network out, and your network is your net worth. The bigger it is, the more meaningful it is. And these are people in the network that would either definitely buy or sell real estate through you, or if given the opportunity that they would probably or most likely, right? That's valuable. But the caveat is they will only do so if you're present, if you're in the game, they know you're available, they know you're in the business, and you're making some kind of contact with them on a regular basis throughout the year. And last is just about embracing the resilience. Guess what? You are going to fail this year at something. You are. I've already failed a couple times this year. Already failed on something that I found out yesterday that's costing the company nearly $1,000. Yeah, I almost jumped out my window, then I realized I'm on the first floor, so nothing would happen, so. But $1,000 is a lot to me in this market, but I realized, look, I made a mistake, I won't make it again. Like I realized what happened and now let's try to fix it and never make that same mistake again, and life's gonna happen, right? So we have to view every setback as an opportunity for growth. We just get stronger when we have the setbacks. Charlie?
I like Mike Berry's recommendation, just keep going.
Yeah.
What choice do we have, right? We're gonna fall down in the fetal position and give up, and I'm done. Life's too tough. Can't get through it. I keep failing again and again and again.
Process.
It's a part of the process. Fail forward. You embrace it. You gotta love it. Now, when you fail doing the same thing, the same failures, then that's called a sickness, right? I mean, that's called a bad addiction because you're not fixing things, right? You know, definition of insanity. Bouncing back from failures and disappointments is really a hallmark of a successful real estate agent. So again, that's the resilience that we show day in, day out, no matter what the market looks like. We just keep going, we keep helping people. There will always be people that need to be helped selling. And we're not going to stop. We're going to continue to be relentless, which happens to be one of our 4 core values right here. That we're relentless. We don't stop. And guess what? That's why we've been around as a company for 50 years and as a brand for 50, going on 55 years as of this year, because this company and this franchise is relentless. While others are failing and doing other things out there, we continue to grow and be successful. And that's thanks to you guys and your relentless efforts. All right, any questions on any of that? Okay, rejection is one of the things. Yeah, we got to get past. All right, one other thing, we do have cupcakes up here. It's a fundraiser. Hopefully most of you have heard about Teresa Morales. She's our director of MLS membership at the board. And she's the one, her son was sick with leukemia and it's been going on for, almost a couple of years now, and has gone and had a kidney transplant, the hospital and the City of Hope. And his sister, which I think his sister is older or younger, okay, a little bit younger sister, was there visiting him and supporting him. And then she passed out, and you know, they basically evaluated her and found out that she had leukemia as well. And the onset was her platelet levels were just rock bottom, and it was just like attacking her body like quickly. And just within about a week or two, she passed. Like it just overwhelmed her that quickly. So the family, you know, I have one son, he's recovering, and it looks like the prognosis is good with the transplant, but still battling. And then the daughter, same exact disease, passes away at the age of 20 or 21. And it's just, I can't imagine a more devastating thing to happen to a mother or father or family. I mean, that you outlive your children that way, and that happens, and it does happen. I mean, but this fundraiser, various things we're doing. So these cupcakes that Anita assembled here are $20 a box that goes directly to support the family. There's also an event that you may have seen announced at the 1852 the soccer brew house on the north side of town over there. This Thursday at 11:30, if you go there and support that, for every beer you buy, they're donating $3 towards the family. And there will be soon to be announced a garage sale, like this massive garage sale coming up where you guys can donate things to be sold, and all the proceeds from those sales will go to help support the family. So keep the family in your prayers, send some thoughts and prayers towards them, because it's just devastating. All right. Okay. All right. So I will bring up Lorenzo to talk about some loan stuff and give us some great news.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I think I know what game you were talking about. Was the Niner game? Is that the one that wasn't as exciting?
Yeah.
11 Niner event, so that was
Right.
I think I had it off. I did.
Yeah, that was, of course,
Yeah, for sure. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope 2025 was good, and I hope you guys have a great 2026. Hope everyone's got a good goal set. No, I do. Having said that, so I was here about the same time last year. So I have a year-over-year update on rates. Last year, conventional average was about 7.1. Today, we're sitting at 6.1. So a good point difference. That's good.
That's really-
Now, they did tick up about 3 basis points this morning, but nothing crazy. There's a lot of news out there going in, knee-jerk reactions, and also the Supreme Court's making some decision on tariffs. So there could be some volatility, but it's kind of been sitting right around 6.1 for the past week and a half, 2 weeks. Okay, so good news right there. FHA and VA, I'm going to lump them together. A year ago, 6.48. Today, they're sitting around 5.7. So some good discounts right there on the rates sitting today. Now, having said that, when I'm talking to buyers, and applications have been up for us, when I'm talking to buyers, we let them know that, rates don't mean a thing until you have a loaded gun to shoot that moving target. So get your application going. If you're talking to your buyers and they're asking what I need, W-2s, 24, 25, 30 days pay stubs, bank statements, however we get those financials in order so we can get them pre-approved for an amount that's good, that they qualify for, that fits their budget. So when they get in a contract, they can lock in. Right now, you're, 6.0 we're at, we're going to see peaks and valleys, okay? The idea is to get them pre-approved and hit that target whenever you hit that value, okay? So keep in mind that the pre-approval is really, really important. And it's also right now, especially when times kind of get a little volatile, it's good just to have those financial things off their shoulders so you guys can shop with ease, know that they're ready to go, right? Okay. Other than that, so we got the Supreme Court. Okay, FHA loan limits. Now that has gone up. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but the FHA loan limit has gone up. The loan amount now is $541,287. So you can now buy a $500,000 home with an FHA loan. That means sales price go up to $560,000. Okay, that's on a minimum down. So that's pretty good. All right. So if you have any questions regarding that, let me know. But FHA sales price $560,000. The loan limit's $541,287. That's for an FHA this year. Okay. So that's good. Other than that, now I don't have too much other than to add that what I've noticed with my buyers has been cash. That's typically the main issue with buyers. They have the credit score, they got the income, they need some cash to close. So having said that, we are a preferred lender with San Joaquin Valley Homes and D.R. Horton. Our San Joaquin has, quite been very popular with the incentives. So if you have someone who is on the fence or, hey, I don't know if I have enough cash, look at a new build because there are some incentives there that can help push them over the edge and get them into a home. I've seen more buyers buy homes at San Joaquin for under 20 grand, getting in because the incentive package is good, and they're happy to get it home. So I mean, as long as the income fits, credit score is there, they should see some more money to push them. We do have down payment assistance programs. We're still with Calhafa, Golden State Financial Authority, SX is more of your low credit score. However, Calhafa down payment assistance programs are very popular. 640 minimum credit score. It's a deferred junior loan program on the second, so they have to pay it back for 30 years. But it does help people come in for little to no money down, depending on the incentive package. So let me know if we can talk about that. As for the talking with your buyers, as Mike was saying, getting in front of people and speaking. I know it's very uncomfortable for a lot of people to do that, especially because I know they come after you with the loan, right? They want to ask you, what do I need to qualify? How much money do I have to make? What's the down payment? Please reach out to any one of us at Core. Okay. If you need a partner on your side and make you feel a little more comfortable, a little more solid in that conversation with your buyers, or if you're doing a small little, first time buyer seminar, let us know. We'd love to sit with you, help you out. We could talk about a plan, have a game plan set, and then we can just kind of learn from each other. And we can talk to your buyers and make you feel a little more confident. I'm naturally an introvert, so for me, talking in front of people is a little uncomfortable, but I'm very comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay. I usually put myself in a setting where I'm back on the same floor and I'm just talking to someone about the meat they're selecting. Okay, so I get it. But however, you want to have buyers that you want to talk to, please reach out. I'd love to sit with you and chat with your buyers. Okay, and we could talk about the process. They have many, many questions, many different scenarios. They're going to hear from their uncle, they're going to hear from their mom. Past experienced buyers are going to have a lot of information, plus not even that, the internet. Okay. Yeah. So to help kind of narrow it down, I think it's always nice to have a face to talk to. Okay. And I think that's kind of what I help try to build my clients. I just say, hey, I'm a beacon of information. Come talk to me and we can kind of iron it out. Okay. Does anyone have any questions about this year ahead programs?
I have a question more. Are you still sitting neighborhoods for San Joaquin or D.R. Horton?
Yes, I do. I primarily sit by Visalia, Porterville, Delano. That's my primaries, or Goshen area. So it's usually the southeast side. That's where I sit. I don't really go out to Hanford unless you really need me, or like the Sanger area and stuff. So.
What are some of the incentives they have currently?
Right now, Maplewood has some homes that got 15,000 up to 6% on some of the homes. I know Maplewood's on their last kind of, right, they're getting
Yeah,
close to
collection.
closing out. I think they're done this summer. So those are some good incentive packages. Laurelwood has some incentive package about 15,000. I know Maplewood and Lucia is really hot and popular. I don't think their incentive packages are too high.
It's so popular.
Yeah, they're rolling out. I know Sycamore Ranch on Acres does have some lower prices recently and some good incentives. Now, those packages, I just have to get updated on those. But I do know that Sycamore Ranch, the neighborhood that's on Acres, they did do some lowering on the prices on some of those homes. It's a very popular neighborhood. I think it's only 90 homes within that small area. And they'll close out, I believe, this year too as well. Now, Visalia does have 2 new neighborhoods going up for San Joaquin, corner of Caldwell and Santa Fe. Andover and the Danbury. So those will be open this summer. So look out for those. So if you have buyers, Tulare also has got a couple new neighborhoods open up too. So they're expanding. San Joaquin is growing out. I think they also got Clovis set up. That's what I heard so far.
That's very,
Yeah.
very good.
Anybody else have any questions, programs, any scenarios you want to run by real quick? No? Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for having me. It was great to see everyone. And yeah, like I said, you can reach out to us. We'd love to work with you. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for making the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I went into a portable neighborhood with one of my brothers, the only young brother I have, and I was surprised to see you there. That was great.
That's right.
Nice seeing you there.
Did you end up finding?
He ended up going just up across the street there to Visalia,
Good.
but he did.
Okay, well, happy you found
He
something.
did. He wanted. It's almost like a cul-de-sac line. He has 2 neighbors kind of,
Yeah.
and nothing behind him, and he has more dogs than the city allows. So that was a big one for him. He doesn't want neighbors complaining, and he knew both neighbors, so that helped. Hey, that's me. All right, book club. We have done 2 books. We started with Mike's book, and then we did The Greatest Salesman in the World. And starting in February, we're going to go to The Power of One More by Ed Milet. Please take a screenshot of this and get the book. Right now on Audible, it's $4.99. You don't even know how, you don't have to know how to read. It reads it to you. And it tells you what it is. You can do it in slow speed or high speed. So if you're hyper or slow, it does it all. That's what I did. I don't have a hard copy of the book. I just bought it. I went on there and it just happened to be on sale. And so we're going to start this in February. And what we're doing is Mike's going to take 1 week. I'm going to take another week. And you're going to have every manager from every location take a week. And then Adam will be kind of the mediator, kind of the host of it all. And so what we're hoping to do is bring books to you that we're reading that we think are helpful. And so if you don't want to read the book, just be a part of the book club. If you also want to read the book, then it's on sale. Get the book and read it with us. And some of the chapters on this thing were like 1 page. And some of them were 2 pages. I mean, there's really short chapters where it starts and it gets good. But I got to tell you, I had not read the book. I had not heard of the book until we decided to put this in the book club. And I'm only like 5.5 chapters in roughly. And I really like it. It started for me really slow, but then like, okay, I thought this guy was just kind of bragging on what he's done, but it was no, it got really good, really fast. And so please, we're going to start this up in February. So please be a part of that. It'll be 9 a.m. every Monday. So Bob, we need Mondays for 5 or 6 weeks back, starting in February. But it's really a good book. Our intent is to do somewhere between 6 and 8 books a year with you and just kind of get some of that knowledge. And because everybody takes different things from the book. So please be a part of that. I just want to give you a quick little kind of insight to the book. So most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they give up too quickly. Didn't Mike just cover that this morning a little bit? They quit 1 step too early. How many of you have seen pictures or memes where there's a guy who's digging a cave and there's all kinds of diamonds and he's 1 thing away and he just decides to give up and turns around and the guy underneath him hits it just 1 strike later? A lot of us are just 1 more attempt at success. We're just that close. It's just 1 more try. It's just when somebody tells you no, when somebody slams a door in the face, when somebody hangs up on the phone, when somebody tells you no to your price, when somebody says no to your CMA, when somebody says no to your commission, try 1 more time. Try it just a slightly different way. Okay. Also, success usually comes from doing 1 more than you think you can. 1 more. Just try 1 more. You got it in you. Maybe you just need somebody to pump you up, but you have it in you. You just got to push yourself that 1 last time. 1 more call, 1 more follow-up, 1 more conversation, 1 disciplined day. Real estate rewards consistency under pressure, not motivation. And that's where real estate is at. So that there's a lot of that. And then he breaks it down in a way that will just make sense to you. The way he used analogies, at least so far in the book, it really spoke to me. It really made it where I could understand what he was trying to get across. In a lot of ways, when writers are just so complicated, when what they're trying to get across is just hard to understand, this guy makes it easy. He uses a lot of analogies. So stronger discipline and consistency without burnout. How many of you felt burnt out? Maybe last year, maybe a couple times. So it's how to help you avoid burnout, how to have some things in play to control your time management and your willpower. Higher confidence in client and negotiation conversations. Just get better at it, just practice, right? Better habits that directly impact income and follow through. Tools to push through the resistance and pressure. Leadership mindset that elevates your business reputation. So some of you guys will hear leadership mindset and you think maybe Mike and me need that. We have it, right? And we work on it all the time. And we try to do the right thing for you. But guess who the leadership is in your transaction? Guess who the clients are looking for leadership? They're not looking at Mike and me. They're looking for you. They hired you. They want you to take on the stress. They want you to walk them through the steps of buying, selling, or investing. They are depending on you to be the leader of that transaction, to lead them forward. And so if you yourself haven't developed a leadership mindset, this is a great book to help you get on that way. Or if you've lost that mindset, help you get back on track. And so it's the leadership mindset for everybody, because you are in fact the leader of your own company. You guys are all 1099s. Except for you, you're both. But everybody else is, wow, everybody else is 1099. So again, you got to be the leader in your business. And your business is what you own, and your business is you. And your business takes care of you and your family. So really get that mindset going. Evergreen update. Anybody get a bonus check last year? Raise your hands really high like you want another one. If you don't raise your hand, we're going to take you off the list. Right, good. So we are going now on 9 years without a recruiter in the company. That's a long time. And in those 9 years, the company has grown from 1 county to 4 to 5. We've grown from about 100 agents to 380 agents, over 400 if you include everybody that's on LeapPro. And we've done it all through you and through our managers without a single recruiter. And we want to continue to grow with people that are like-minded and fit the culture. And so we'll continue with this program. Does anybody know how the program works? Anybody forget? Anybody that you directly recruit, every time they close a transaction, we put $50 away. The reality is we don't put $50 away. We just account for it at the end of the year. But $50 of that transaction, we don't charge the person that you recruited. It doesn't affect them in any way. And then at the end of the year, we go from December to November. So it's December of the previous year. So December of last year to this November, if the person you recruited does 12 transactions, we cap it. Even if they do 30 transactions, we cap it at 12. They'll get $600. If they recruit somebody else, even though you had nothing to do with it, you'll get $25 for that person. Up to 12 transactions, that's half the amount. That's $300. If that second person gets a third person recruited that you had nothing to do with, we'll continue 3 levels deep. You get $10 for anybody on that level. For as long as both of you are with a company, every closed deal, capped at 12 transactions. 12 times 100, times 10 is what? It's 120. So one recruit can get you about $1,120, roughly. I just did that. I might be wrong, but it's somewhere close to that. But again, we want you to help us recruit people that are like-minded, people that we like, people that would be a good fit, not somebody that we have to exit. And you guys have all seen that happen last year. Sometimes it's just not a good fit. But please help us grow. Coming soon. Want to get back to you guys on coming soon? Rito, go for it.
My extra property is almost done. We're just waiting on a couple little touch-ups.
Slow it down. You're talking like me.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was.
You sound just like me right now. You sound like a Spanish news reporter. You're going pretty fast. I have to remind you.
I got an extra house coming up, 269, 3-bedroom, 1 bath. We're just doing a couple little touch-ups. Should be ready for showing anytime in the next, well, hopefully this week it's going to be on the market.
And the price you mentioned,
You said
269?
269? That's
The lot itself, I'd have to double check, but probably 70,000 square foot. It's right across the street from the school. I think it's Rocky Hill School, 210 East Sequoia. No, I'm sorry, not East, just 210 Sequoia.
You said lot was 78,000?
7 or 8,000 square feet. It's an average size. Nothing crazy.
that's a hell of a
The house is not huge, but it's clean. We'll go FHA. We went out recently and had the gas turned on. We serviced the heater. Noticed that there was a gas leak, so that's what they're working on this week. Once we get that done, which it's going to be an easy fix, it's just finding that leak.
Yeah.
Once we get it, then we'll put it on the market.
Get that one, yeah, it's a carbon monoxide cell. Yes.
Well, no, it's outside.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, yeah, so.
Does
neighbors
Exeter
don't-
qualify for USDA? No, so yeah, Exeter's not in the USDA program, okay.
You know, what? Why not?
I don't think,
It
I
also-
would have to look, I would have to look at the guidelines. for
Yeah,
that,
no,
but-
it should, it
but
should.
look-
Somebody
I don't
Google
think
it.
too many USDA's, but I don't know.
That's a heck of a price.
Finding-
Three bedroom,
finding
one
USDA has
bathroom.
been hard.
2 car, 1.5 car carport,
Yeah,
new fence line.
yeah. So a car and a smart car, you can fit in.
Yeah. Or one real car, you know?
Or just one truck.
Yeah.
Anything else coming soon?
You know what, yesterday we started working on Early Mart, I'll be out there again today, 2 bedroom, 1 bath, it's a very nice house, it really is, just needs, new interior paint, new exterior paint, the outside looks a little, older. I was really surprised that, lots and lots of cement. I mean, you have your 1 car garage, but the whole front yard is nothing but cement. In the backyard, there's a nice concrete patio area. What do you call it? Like a catwalk to go to the other side of the property. I'd say 20 by 40 foot cement slab. Still a nice little backyard area. It is corner lot. It's fenced in. There is a lemon tree.
There you go. Well, so you have a lemon tree in the backyard for the barbecues and dance floor.
There you go.
You're ready
There
to
you
go
go.
to fiestas.
There you go. So if you're gonna buy lemons for 69 cents, you can just stop there, get some lemons, and show the property obviously.
That's good. What do you think the price will be on that?
I haven't looked at it a whole bunch, but I think it's gonna be right around that same, somewhere in that mid 260s.
No, go higher, man. There's no inventory there.
You know what, that's the thing, but it's only a 2-in-1.
Okay,
But
fine.
it's
Makes a
it's a
difference.
nice house.
Yeah.
It really is. When I walked in, I was really surprised.
Yeah, Lindsay has low inventory, Early Mart, all the small town,
Yeah.
Waterville has low inventory for that. Just, there's a lack of inventory in a lot of towns still. And so when you get the listings, they sell quick to where we're very blessed that anybody say we have as many new builders as we do. And so, make sure that you guys know not only what your new builders are doing and the incentives, but pay attention to what's happening because it'll really help you put some deals together. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have a property probably in the next month that is gonna be around 700,000. It'll be in Exeter. It's going to be horse property with a barn, 10 acres,
Nice.
nice ranch house on it.
So it has a barn and a ranch house.
Yes.
That's a little bit of everything. Good.
Yeah.
Very good.
210 does qualify for USDA.
Is it?
Nice. Good.
I don't need too many USDA's, but that's good to know. Yeah. I know USDA's.
Yeah,
You just got a $10,000 price bump.
Right, and it is already, well, okay, so we were thinking 275.
Yeah.
When I went out there last week, I started, really researching it where I think 269 is more realistic.
Yeah.
And it is already past the 90-day flip, but also FHA can kick back in. Conventional, yeah. I kind of thought USDA. I don't know if there's any city funds, but it should qualify for city funds as well.
I don't think Exeter has any.
Yeah, I say last couple months that I checked, they did, but it's a new year, so maybe.
I think only maybe self-help.
Self-help might have it.
So.
In the last week and a half or 2 weeks since we've done the Jared James event, I worked with a couple of you agents. I don't see any of you, maybe except for Ruben. And I've asked you guys to do what he recommended, which was stop calling your CMAs. Anybody remember what he recommends you call?
I was gonna ask about that.
Yeah. So he calls them property impact reports.
Yeah.
And here's a good way to have a discussion with all of your clients, whether they're buyers or sellers, because this is absolutely true. And it's all in the way that you frame it. It's, hey, Larry, are you aware that anytime a property sells within half a mile of your property, it impacts your value? If you would like a property impact report, I do them for free. I can put it in your email. I can tell you every time that something sells within half a mile. I can even go out a mile. And the way that appraisers work is they typically go back 6 months. So anything that sold in your neighborhood in the last 6 months impacts your value. Were you aware of that? Were you aware of that, Angela? Would you like that report? It's absolutely free. All I need is your email.
Newsletter.
And so again, if you do it through Moxie, it is absolutely free. And you can do it once a month, once a quarter. You can do it daily. You can do it weekly. You can blow them up. And it's there for you to do it. Bob and Mitz have done tons and tons of training on it. I get embarrassed that I don't know it as effectively as I should. So I took Ruben in to see Bob last week. I'm like, Bob, help me out here, man. I'm short on time. I can't do it in 5 minutes because I don't have the expertise. I'm just not quick enough with it yet. Right? And so please work on that because it's gonna separate you from everybody else that's calling them what? CMAs. We've been calling them CMAs since they were caves and we were selling caves. So stop calling them CMAs, property impact report. So please work on that. Anything else that anybody got from the Jared James event? So nothing, nobody? Please start using ChatGPT to make you more efficient, to make you quicker on time, to make you more efficient is the key. Because the people you're going up against in the business are using it and they're gonna respond quicker and slightly different than you are. And when they sound a little bit more professional, more interesting, they make it the deal. So please start using it to set yourself apart. One last thing, any more coming soon? Larry, go for it.
They're gonna coming soon, I have a commercial property in Madera that's can be used as a bar and grill, it can be used as an event hall.
Oh,
It was formerly the American Legion office, but they lost their charter and now the state American Legion has to sell it for them. We're in a 2,400 square foot building, has a bar already in it, has a kitchen, has large public toilets, has a meeting area. And in addition, in the back, it also has a very large indoor meeting hall, like for dances and things like that. So that was to have an event. And it sits on an acre.
wow.
And it's on Country Club Drive in Madera, about a mile out of town. And
Nice.
at the end of the other road, past it is the country club. So it's kind of a good location,
Great
stuff
location.
growing around it.
Yeah.
We're starting at 690.
Man, I can see it already. Come to the country club, without the country club dudes.
And then I got a mobile home right now that's on the market for 17,500. It's a small 600 square feet. So anybody that wants to downsize and be affordable living.
Where's that located?
It's located on Chenoweth, that mobile home RV park on Chenoweth. I think it's 820
What's the space rent there roughly?
at 900, maybe 900.
Okay. Which is high, but the price is low, so it makes the difference. Good. Anybody else with coming soons? Matt,
Lane's property at 1831 South Cottonwood in Sycamore Creek will hit the market today. About 1,750 square feet, 3 and 2. Beautiful landscape yard, front and back. Nice property. I just put that mobile home I talked about last week on Mid Valley Space S8, and that's 99.9, about 1,440 square feet. Nice property, all remodeled inside with flooring, lighting, the whole bit.
and Mid Valley, in my personal opinion, has the best location in town.
Westlake, yeah.
Yeah, because everything that is going there, not only is it beautiful when you get the ducks and when you get the goose and everything else, but everything's going there. You got the new Target right there. You got all new eateries. You got Sam's Club coming in. You got so many new things going there that it makes it really nice to be in this part of town. And so great location. Space rents are high everywhere.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the person back in New York who said the rents are just too damn high. But that's the reality of life right now. Anybody else with coming soons or have and wants? Rito.
I'm gonna go to Exeter, or not Exeter, Hanford. I have a Lemoore listing. I'm gonna go print out some flyers,
Yeah.
share with them. If you guys have any Lemoore buyers, I do have a 2,800, a little over 2,800 two-story home in the Lemoore Golf Course area. It is a gated community association dues. I want to say it's 85 per month. Very nice semi-custom home, appliances. Builder went overboard with appliances. They look very, very nice for the property though. We have it listed at 585. So if you have any, I mean, we did get an offer from one of the neighbors. Wasn't builder and him were okay. They were talking first. When I got involved, then he goes, "Oh, I have my agent." So then, of course, we added that commission to it. Then he needs closing costs. So the builder is willing to come off that price. But at the same time, he's looking for a good, reasonable offer.
Yeah, he needs to make a profit. So by everything you just said, obviously this is brand new construction.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
very nice. If you guys have anybody for Lemoore.
Very good. All right. Want to leave you guys with two things. One is homework that will only make you guys better. Lou Holtz, one of the quotes that Mike shared. I learned about this guy about 30 years ago, completely by accident, because it was part of a training that I was doing, and they just showed a video. Except for Mike, does anybody know who Lou Holtz is? Raise your hand. All right. All right, good. Who is it?
He was a coach for Notre Dame.
That's right. That's how he got the most famous. And so he got the most famous for being a coach. So please look him up. If you can on YouTube, look up "Do the Right Thing" by Lou Holtz. It was kind of like a little documentary that they kind of did about him. And here is this guy that's working with football players who's about 5'2", weighs all of about 100 pounds if he's soaking wet with boots on. He was born with a cleft palate. They had that fixed surgically, like way back in the day. He talks with a lisp. And this guy was known for turning around bad teams and teams that had losing reputations and always took them to championship. And when you see this guy, he's not like somebody that you like, this guy's a football coach. I mean, how does he doesn't even look like football. I mean, this guy looks like he would be maybe a caddy and struggle to even carry the bag. But his story is fantastic. When you see that, please look it up because it'll just make you better. It'll make you a Lou Holtz fan just to see that. So please look him up. The other thing is please get the book that we're going to do the book club on. It's $4.99. Guys, you can spend more than that on one cup of coffee. And there's some great stuff in there. One of the analogies that I liked that was at the beginning of the book was this. How many of you have heard, this part's not in the book, but it's my analogy. You are like the five people you hang out with, right? So what he does business is he relates that to the thermometer. If I go here and I wanted to get warmer because it's cold in here, I'm going to change that, right? Well, the way he says it is your 5 closest people are your thermometer and they're bringing you down. And so if you want to increase your temperature and be more comfortable, increase your thermometer. So start getting around people that are doing what you want to do and start getting away from the people that are keeping you. But he also ties in another thing that the other analogy doesn't do. And he says that we're all a product of how we grew up. And your thermometer is set based on your own life experiences. Your family member, a sibling, may have a completely different life experience because they were going through the exact same thing at a different age in the same house. And so the way that you can readjust your own mental thermometer is completely up to you. It's not up to me. It's not up to Mike. It's not up to your spouse. Not up to your kids. It's up to you. And so if you really want to change your thermostat to be more successful, you have to first believe that you can. And so he works on your mindset and he does it in a way that is so freaking understandable. And you're like, why didn't I think of this shit? I could have been a millionaire from this book. Like, it's so simple. But this is the knowledge that you get from just different experiences and different books. So if you want to change your thermometer in life, and if you want to have a little bit more success in your life, whatever that means to you, pick up the damn book. It's $1.99. For that, meeting's over. Thank you for being here.
Mike, you said Anita's in charge of the cupcake?
Yes, she made the cupcakes.